What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about obviously the flash crash last night. Um, we saw a lot of liquidations, I'm going to get into that in a second. As always, update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would smash it in this bull cycle, even after the flash crash and everything losing about 30% of their value. Had you invested $100 into each of these 26 and you're still holding those bags, you'd be in profit for 54k. I've held them all, I've closed positions on them all, and reinvested into new cryptos. If you want to see what I'm in, you can check out Copy My Crypto, where I share my portfolio. I talk through the market on a day like this. And you can match my profits. We've had some really good wins recently as well. One thing I keep reiterating, and today should feel like a good reminder of what I reiterate, which is bank your profits along the way, because a bear cycle will come. I don't think this is it, but they will come, and it will be brutal. And if you're banking your profits along the way, you won't feel bad when moments like this happen. Okay, so yeah, so check out Copy My Crypto. Look at it. Look at it. Look at Bitcoin. So what we saw yesterday, even just going on to the 30 minutes. I mean, this was last night. And this is 30-minute candles, so you can see within the space of an hour, it just got brutalized. I mean, even if we reduce it, it's actually a space of 45 minutes. All of that happened, where it dipped down to below 42k, very briefly on Binance. Huobi was even worse, probably it dipped to 28k, and then it quickly rebounded. It did quickly rebound. And it's steadily going up. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination, but Bitcoin is trying to tackle the $49,000 mark. So that's pretty positive, and that's a decent recovery from where the market was when I woke up this morning. So what's happened over... there you go. And then it starts dumping. What happened over the evening was fairly brutal for anyone in leverage positions. We saw $2.5 billion liquidated in 24 hours. Absolutely staggering. Staggering. So this was... yeah. Okay, that article decided not to appear. What stupidity. Let's try that again. There we go. So Bitcoin dumped to 42k on most exchanges. Huobi saw an even more substantial drop as Bitcoin went below 30k. At the same time, the liquidations are well above 2.5 trillion on a daily scale as the entire market. Don't think that's what I mean. So according to data from CoinGlass, total liquidations are above 2.5 billion on a daily scale. In the past 4 hours alone, the liquidations were over 1.5 billion. And this article was written fairly close to the time of that dump. $2.5 billion liquidated. So put into context, during Black Friday, where I talked through what's happening there, and I was explaining that was a historic dip. We've seen it before. There was only I think it was $770 million of liquidations. So this one, 3 times as much. It's pretty good, pretty big. 100 million was actually liquidated in 10 minutes as Bitcoin dipped below 51k. And that's really the news here. There are general perspectives where everyone's sort of throwing out potentials on what could happen in the market. And it's really, like, there are 3 potentials according to, if you look at everyone that's speaking about this. Many saying we're still in a bull market, many saying we're in a bear market, and many saying we're in a consolidation phase. and no one saw the sort of this incredible dip coming, um, because it was so drastic and so fast. I mean, you're talking a 45-minute period where Bitcoin dropped by about 20%, which is fairly staggering. Um, Now, in terms of what's to come, it really depends on how the next few days play out. On a daily basis, if we're looking at the actual market, if Bitcoin regains levels around a 51 to 52K mark, then we could go parabolic fairly soon. If, however, the market continues to retrace and there are solid, and not just of a flash crash moment, but we are solidly dropping down to around 42K, then we could be hitting a bear. Or there could be the truth of the consolidation phase because it's an extended cycle. So we've got to see how realistically the next 48 hours play out. It's definitely going to be interesting. But right now, as bearish as this candle appears, when you consider that the low was 42, below 42K, and or thereabouts, and it's recovered nearly $7,000 worth of value across the day, it's looking more bullish to me than bearish. But we will see how it all plays out. But it's an interesting one. And obviously it's meant that the market has bled hard. There's no other way of putting it. The altcoins across the board are generally experiencing some serious price depreciation. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it plays out. And actually, if we look at categories, I don't think there are any categories that are particularly doing well. Beyond them, yeah, no. Immediately, I was like, oh, transport. Oh, there's only 3 tokens. Technically, tokenized stocks doing better. So, yeah, that's about it. The rest is straight bearish. Every market is more in the red than in the green by a pretty strong difference as well. But yeah, this is one of those situations where you just have to wait and see how the market plays out. For me personally, the fact that Bitcoin has recovered as much ground as it has is still above the 200-day is positive. I feel that if the ground is regained around the 52K mark in the next 48 hours, I think that's a good sign that we're going to go parabolic fairly soon. But we do have to see how the next sort of 24 hours play out. Generally, as well, Sundays that tends to be more bullish than Saturdays. When we're seeing on a Friday, a Saturday is very much a reflection of the Friday. A Sunday tends to be the opposite in terms of when it's bearish to bullish. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the market being more bullish in the morning and tomorrow. And then Monday kicks in and the markets open up. And that will be a very, very, very interesting day. But right now, there's one thing I'll say. There's I saw the buy the dip narrative knock around. It's something I subscribe to generally. But when you've had a dramatic drop down, it's one thing where I go, you exercise caution here. I still think we're in a bull circle, and I still think this Bitcoin's in recovery mode today and tomorrow. And if it does do so, like I said, I think it'll go parabolic. But right now, it could go either way. We could see all of a sudden a huge bearish sentiment in a bear market. And it's one thing where you've got to actually exercise caution. Me personally, I'm exercising caution. I will buy the dip, and I'm quite happy to do so, but I'm going to buy the dip when I feel there's confirmation that the market is fully recovered, or is about to fully recover. Because within the space of an hour last night, Bitcoin dropped 20%. And if Bitcoin's dropping again below and solidly below that 42K level, that is cause for concern. So it's that's my personal opinion on the market today. But it is going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. And Ethereum actually not dipped too much, surprisingly. If you actually look at what's it, percentage dominance, Bitcoin's percentage dominance is 40.3, but ETH's is 21. ETH's actually held pretty good ground when you look at it. So yeah, if you're an ETH holder, you should be fairly happy comparatively. Yeah, that's it. Just my perspective on the markets today. If you're new to crypto, guys, check out Copy My Crypto. Like I said, it's where I might share my portfolio. My portfolio week in, week out has been outperforming the market, although I can't say that today. Look at the market. But we've had some really good wins recently. And if you want to match them, then obviously you can check it out. One thing I've reiterated and consistently do so, obviously not financial advice, but for the love of God, bank your profits along the way in a cycle, because days like this bother you a lot less when your money is in your bank account and you've been banking profits. And then when the bear cycle kicks in, stick around. Huge opportunities in bear cycles. Everything's undervalued and everything has the potential. Well, there are some top tier projects that have huge potential to run wild. So if you want to get on them, that's the chance that you've got. And Bitcoin just broke 49K, so that's positive. Yeah, anyway, that's it for me. Take care, guys. Bye bye.